Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Ball Talk. Today, I'm going to be talking about the second team in a series of my five greatest Premier League teams of all time. Today, I'm going to be talking about the 2007-2008 Manchester United team. Before I get into it, I just want to say thank you for the love and support on my channel. As always, you guys are the best, and please like this video. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. So, the 2007-2008 Manchester United team, they won the Premier League on the last day after one of the closest title races in Premier League history. They fought with Arsenal and Chelsea all the way. Arsenal had just dropped out, and then it was the final day between United and Chelsea. United and Chelsea both had 84 points going into the games. United won their game, Chelsea drew theirs, and that was it. United won the league. 87 points to Chelsea's 85. Then, these two teams also met each other in the Champions League final. The first ever All-English European Cup or Champions League, whatever you want to call it, the first ever All-English final. And this was at the height of English dominance in the Champions League, with 3 years in a row. This is the middle of 3 years in a row where 3 English teams out of the 4 were the semi-finalists. So 2007, 2008, and 2009. So United won this final, the Champions League, on penalties, and that sealed their amazing season. Premier League, Champions League. For a club like Manchester United, you could not ask for more than that. A record that they broke in their Premier League season, it's only one. Compared to some of the other teams on this list, it's not that many, but this team's unique selling points is not the records that they broke. So we'll get into that later. But the record that they did break was the one for goal difference. So that's the difference between goals scored and goals conceded. And they scored 80 goals, which was the most in the league, and conceded 22, which was the least in the league. So it just shows how complete the team was, 58 goal difference, which was a record at the time, which has since been broken. But it just shows, like I said, it shows the complete nature, total football that was played by this Manchester United team. So, getting into the unique selling point that I was talking about, as they say in business, it was the utter talent that this squad had. The utter talent was absolutely amazing. In my opinion, there were about 6 to 7 players that had a decent claim at the time to be the best in the world at their position. And there's a good few of those players who right now today have a decent claim to be the best ever in their position in Premier League history. So to take you through that, you have Edwin van der Sar in goal, who at the time probably was at least top 5 goalkeepers in the world. You had Evra at left back, probably the best left back in the world at the time, maybe only rivaled with Ashley Cole. Then you had Vidic, Ferdinand, probably, arguably the greatest Premier League centre-back pairing in history, and definitely at the time 2 of the best centre-backs in the world. Then in midfield, you had Paul Scholes, definitely one of the best midfielders of his time. You're comparing it with Lampard, Gerrard, these are the names you're talking about. If you hear people in the football world talk about Paul Scholes, you will realize how rated he is in the football community. And if you watch him, you see the way he just does the simple things and some really technical things so easily and effortlessly. At the time, definitely one of the best midfielders in the world. Then you had Wayne Rooney, at the time, definitely one of the best strikers in the world, and definitely one of the best strikers in Premier League history. And then you had the icing on the cake, Cristiano Ronaldo. Not only was he definitely the best in his position at the time, but he was the best player in the world at the time. And in 2008, Ronaldo won his first Ballon d'Or, FIFA World Player of the Year, his second PFA Premier League Player of the Year. Almost every individual accolade you could ever want, he won in that season. So this just shows the genuine talent that this team had. But not only did they have talent, they had the resolve to grind out some really important victories along the way. Not only victories, really important results as well. There's one that sticks to mind. There was this game they had against Middlesbrough in early April. This was during the fight for the title. And it was snowy, it was, like a heavy day, and Middlesbrough went 2-0 up. But then United fought back and got an important point that in the end helped them to win the title, you know. And then, you know, they won the big games when it was necessary. Another game that comes to mind in that same month, April 2008, was a very important game between Man United and Arsenal. At that point, United was 6 points ahead of Arsenal, but basically, if United won, Arsenal were out of the title race. If Arsenal won, Arsenal were right back in the title race. And guess who won? Man United. Because United just always had that. This is a common theme with all United teams under Sir Alex Ferguson. They just knew they had that clutch gene, as they say in basketball, you know. They just knew how to get it done in the most important moments. And that's when you mix that with a really talented group of players that they had at their disposal at the time, you're left with one of the greatest teams in Premier League history. It's really that simple. Like, I don't think there's much else to say. You know, they're just a genuine talent. The trophies they won, the Premier League, the Champions League, like, what else do you want, you know? In my opinion, you know, like, if you wanted to put them as the greatest Premier League team of all time, I would have absolutely no complaints. Basically, like, the only thing they could have done more was win the treble. But even at that, like, as a football fan, if your team wins the Premier League and the Champions League, you're chilling. Like, you don't really need the domestic cup. So we've come to the end of the video, come to the end of, you know, presenting my case for United being the greatest Premier League team of all time, Man United 2008. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching and see you next time.